Alrighty, well, welcome back, everybody. Jed Scott here as always, and today we're going to show you how to make a headlight assembly that's lighter, brighter, and just better all around. So here we have your classic halogen bulb. Beautiful. I love the way these look. They're classic. They're synonymous with what belongs in an old muscle car era car from the 60s or 70s. And right here is our modernized thing that I really don't like the look of, but you know what? It's cheaper, it's lighter weight, and it's brighter. And for the old barely CUDA, it'll be perfect. Because when you go and try and buy these bulbs today, they're kind of expensive, especially two of them. These are the 7-inch ones. So I was at my local Advanced Auto Parts, and they had these bad boys on the clearance rack. I think I gave 15 bucks a piece for them. And my original idea was, well, hell, we'll just mount them with that big old stud and everything. Well, the problem is they look kind of silly because they said they were a 7-inch diameter bulb. Well, they're more like a 5 because, yeah. As you can hear, this is actually off of Dad's van. It's broken. So they don't quite fit. They leave a lot of space and they look kind of silly. So I started playing with this yesterday. And I ended up creating this assembly, which uses the stock housing, the stock trim ring, along with some of the stuff from that assembly. And if you're curious what brand this is, I saved pieces of the box. It's Alpina Spot Rover HD. I don't know if they still make it. Like I said, I bought it on the clearance rack, so if you can find one, sweet. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. But that's what I did. So we take this whole assembly apart, and this one's been modified to fit in the CUDA because it has none of the stock retention to hold the headlight in there because, well, it's cut up because it's a race car. And I'm going to show you how I fitted it inside this stock housing, and if you can get lucky, oh, it got moved, and if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to source this stuff on your own and do the same thing. So let's show you what we did. So the first thing you want to do is take apart your stock headlight assembly, which is done with that screw, and that screw, and then we'll remove the trim ring, which will allow you to pull the halogen bulb out. So let's do that real fast. And just like that, trim ring off, old bulb off. This one is still good, so we're not going to throw it away. And here's our housing. So you want to clean this up real good. And now we'll set that stuff to the side because we're not ready for that. Now we're going to take this thing apart, which is really simple. You undo these two screws, take both the trim rings off because it's got two of them, and they'll be looking like this because you want to use one of them when it's said and done. And then we just need to disassemble and take this whole chrome housing off, and I'll show you how we fit it. Okay, I lied. You don't have to take both trim rings off. You just take off one. Alright, and then we just got to pull our wires through there, which you got to be careful because they are actually tied in a loop right in the middle. And what's neat is it's got a cloth wire for the positive side. So we're just going to be real gently pull this through with one hand because one hand is filming. Alright, and then you're left with this nice little pod that you will throw in your junk pile. You'll use some other day, not today. Alright, so then you're left with this rubber gasket here, which is usually what seats inside of this. Well, if you try to fit this in here, it's going to be really tight. But you can actually squeeze this down inside of there. And then what we do is we take a drill with a tiny little drill bit, and we're going to run a hole here, here, and here. And that will affix this housing to this rubber seal, and then we're going to run a little bead of glue on the inside just to make sure she don't go anywhere. Just a little bead. And that will attach that. Now, how well this will last, I have no idea. This is an experiment, and hopefully it works. But if you got any kind of faith in my crazy crackpot schemes, you'll try it too, if you can find those. So let's get that one. Okay, once you have this kind of fitted, now make sure you put this in right because this is an asymmetrical headlight mounting bracket. And there's a top to the headlight. Now one thing I need to do is I move the top of this clamp to the top up here just because you don't see it as bad. But then we come in and we drill our tiny little holes, put a pilot through the rubber seal, and these are number 8x58 screw, or 5/8 screws. And we're just going to run those in, and that gives us a nice mechanical fasten. Now, of course, this isn't a permanent super end-all be-all fastening because we're just screwing it into rubber, but it'll be good enough for a race car. All right, so one of the modifications I did do is on this one, I added a lot more screws because I ran a pretty thick bead of the weather stripping adhesive in between that rubber seal and the actual bucket. That should glue it in really nice. Just try not to wear as much as I did. Be my recommendation. Maybe a pair of gloves would be good. So before I do any more with this one, I'm going to go ahead and glue it in and then put some more screws in it. We'll have those both done. Then we could put them in the Barracuda. All right, don't mind the satellite. It's just neglected still. And that's the look you're left with. Not my favorite thing in the world, but Dad and Nana seem to like it. So that's it up close. You kind of get a double trim ring effect. You get, actually it's more like a triple trim ring because you got this actual bezel, the old trim ring, the new one, the new headlight, and this side's already got all the stuff made to brace it in. We got a little tap there and a little tap there. Now I got to fabricate everything to do this one, but of course that's all custom to this car. It won't work with yours, but if you think you could live with that look, there you go. There. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the headlights working, try and get all the marker lights working, and the tail lights, because we have one switch on the dash that turns all that on all at once. And that's mainly for if we're at night when we're racing. We have lights for the return road, but we need to have tail lights on at all times, so we'll have those. So I'm going to get all that done, get those all done, and I'm going to try to do marker lights too, because it'd be cool to have all those functional. See you in a bit. All right, I'm going to troop, Dad. So before I turn the headlights on, I just want to let everybody know, marker lights aren't going to happen because, yeah, the bulbs don't work with the dang in those things, and I found out the rear ones don't even have the little sockets on them, and the sockets I thought were right that I bought at the parts store were not right, so now I got to find some originals to molest for this. So let's see if the lights work. Michael, hold that. Film those headlights. Flip this switch.
Nothing.
Really? Nothing?
Nothing.
We don't have headlights. He's lying his ass out. You know better than that, my electricals. Oh, those aren't too bad. Well, take the carb caps off, clean all the tools off. Let's see if that boost gauge works, or if it created a giant vacuum leak. All right, let's see. Do we have a boost gauge? All in the premise of seeing if that's going to work. We got some temperature, so in idle, we got vacuum, we can give it gas. But yeah, headlights work. Take it over by the top. That's good news. She's making 10 psi when you get her in the RPM, and yes, this is something I have to contend with. It's blowing oil out the front of the gasket there. Well, I didn't put gasket, I just put a seal cone. I didn't put enough, and I'm wondering if maybe ain't got enough breathers going on in this engine. She's only got that one breather, and now she's
put 10 pounds of boost.
yeah.
I would have like start blowing gaskets out.
Well, that's more psi than what we were recommended to run. So we might need to get a little bigger pulley for the blower to slow it down, because we could just flip the pulleys, but that pulley down there sucks to change. This one's not so bad. So might get, this is a 50 and that's a 55 down there. So might get a 52 or 53 up here. And that'll cool down the boost. But it freaking wraps itself pretty good.
Yeah.
So we got, Dad found these in his old Charger bin. We'll see if these fit. Maybe we can get tail lights working. Those will work, Dad.
Really?
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
3 of them.
Okay. And then I'll just have to figure out something on the side markers. Just because I want all the lights lit up on this thing at night because I think it'll look cool. The 68 marker lights are the coolest for any Mopar. Next to a 70, because 70 actually do light up and they're the big rectangles. So I guess we'll work on that for a little bit. Okay, guys and gals, so we have everything light up back here. Lit up, I should say, proper grammar. So we got some sockets Dad found from his Charger. Went down to the parts store and I got some of these universal little sockets. I use these on the side markers for Jezebel when the harnesses were missing. You just got to shave the little, this is the feller. Figure I got an extra one, I'll just show it to you. It's a Dorman 85814 part number. So you see them little ears hanging off. You shave those down a little bit and they'll fit. And they use a 194 series bulb. Work pretty good. So, let's see if everything works. We still gotta fix the boost gauge because it still comes on. Alright, turn that on. By the way, I was watching the footage from a couple days ago. It's making 9 pounds of boost, actually. And check that out. 68 side markers, tail lights, everything's on. Everything's working good. Man, that really washes out the red. That sucks. But now, I just need to get one more of these little guys. I'm gonna take the front side markers and modify them. Break off whatever crap is holding their sockets in. And I'm gonna make those work just like the rears, because then I know that'll work. Oh, and by the way, I want to show you this. So this door didn't always shut all the way, and sometimes it'd fly open. I mean, sometimes you accidentally knock it open or something. So a little heim joint, shaved it down, bolt, 5/16 bolt. And now what this does is if that door's not all the way open, you can tell visually from the outside. I'm gonna add some ears, make this look a little more professional. But if it's hanging out like that, give it a left tap, make sure it locks in. So now, when we shut that door, you give that bolt a couple taps, that makes sure that door is shut. And don't get your car cover cut in the plexiglass or Lexan. All right, so now I know those work. Loom all this in the back, and we'll finish up the front markers. Better call this one a video. Feller, so it's gotten dark on me. There's everything working at night. Just got the fronts done. So yeah, little front side markers. LEDs are shining. And the side marker. The 68 side markers always are fantastic. Sweet. That job is done. And I will catch you guys in el mañana. Well, guys and gals, I just want to thank you for checking out this video. We have all the lights working on the Barracuda. We got that freaking boost gauge working. And, oh yes, she is even closer to being drag strip legal. We just have a couple of things left to do. Of course, it's December now, so we're not really going to be doing much more because it's cold. But luckily, we are blessed with a warm, sunny, blue sky day. That looks actually really cool. Look at that. Woo! Probably shouldn't do that with the camera. But seriously, guys, thank you for checking this one out. Before we go, I have a neat package. And I want to unbox this because this guy is really cool. So he's a viewer, and he got a hold of me through Chris Birdsong, and he wanted to send me something. And preface this. His name's Mike Music, out of California. Super cool car guy. Let me show you what else he sent me. So if any of you guys watched the series on my dad's 78 Dodge van, boogie van video series, you know, this thing was pretty neat. You guys really dug this thing, and we're hoping to get to finishing the interior here soon. But Mike sent me something for Dad's van. And Mike, I'm not kidding you, that's where it sits. He had that little van made and sent it to Dad. And it's mice in the stripes, but you know, I would never expect anybody to try and recreate that crap. But it's super freaking cool. I mean, it is really one of the coolest things someone's ever sent us. We really appreciate that, Mike. And I ain't kidding you, man. It's always riding right there there or down there for safety. Seriously, Dad's always got it on display in his van. He loves that thing. So Mike contacted me, about a week ago, wanting to send me something else. And I have no idea what's in that box. I imagine it's another scale model of something that we own. And I have no idea what it is of. So what do you say? Let's go open it up and see what's in there. Good pack job, Mike. Never skimp on bubble wrap. Alright, so what do we got in here? Okay, we got a hood scoop with a hood. Oh, that happened. Oh, that sucks. The paper towel got to the paint on that. I'll have to clean that. Well, going off that hood, I'm going to imagine that's a Barracuda. If I had to take a guess on something. Okay, I need to be gentle because I don't want to screw this thing up. Alright, you guys ready for this reveal? Well, sorry guys. It looks like his little scale model didn't survive shipping. But we're going to end this video off staring at the Barracuda. Wait. I can't tell the difference. What the heck? Yes. Mike, you really outdid yourself. That's freaking badass. And that is actually what I plan to do with the zoomies for this thing. So now I got to make the real car accurate to the model. He even got the roll cage pretty dang accurate. The single seat, fire extinguisher. That's actually where I plan on putting the fire extinguisher. Dude, that's freaking sweet. Oh, you guys are the greatest viewers in the world. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh, he's got a 4-speed in it. Okay, that might be someday, but he's got the engine painted the right color. Mike, thank you, man. I had a feeling it was gonna be Barracuda or something, but I am just super stoked with that, man. That's freaking awesome. That's going right on my desk. I wish I could put that in the car, but unlike the van, this thing's a little more rattly, shall we say. Thank you again, Mike. So, as always, guys, thank you for checking this one out. Thank you for the 5th time, Mike. That made my day. So, look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. As always, take care, and bye-bye.